What's up, guys and gals, all you cool cats and kittens out there in social media world? By now you know who it is. It's the ghost with the most, good old sWs, that's just too sweet. And this episode is just too sweet because we're finally here. My guest today is one of the very few people that I actually trust, man. I really do. We haven't known each other very long, but it feels like years. Guys, my guest is the one and only Rob Glover, a.k.a. the most wanted Ricky Gunnz. Brother, what's up?
What's up, brother?
How you doing, man?
I'm here, man.
So we're here.
It's show day. It's show day.
It's show day. It's, yeah, we had to push the episode back one day. So, busy day. So, let's go ahead and start right here.
Let's do it.
What is a busy wrestling day for you?
I mean, it starts today. We won't talk about today in particular, but it starts at 5 a.m. You know what I mean? You gotta prep the bags. You gotta do the traveling. You gotta get on the road. Normally we chill for a little bit before a show. You know what I mean? Have a few briskies. But once we get to the show, man, I mean it's business. You get in there. You shake everybody's hand. You know, show your respects. If that ring's open, you know what I mean?
Get in and you work, man.
Yeah, man. Then you wait in the back and you wait for your moment.
And what's that moment like for you, man? Because, like, I know you've always wanted to be a pro wrestler, you know, former
Yes,
martial artist, you know what I mean?
Yes,
You have the martial art background, obviously, but what's it like when you're standing? I mean, I know what it's like, too, you know what I mean? Because, I mean, I'm back there. But what's it like for you personally when the music hits and, you know, you're going through that curtain and you're becoming a whole different person for the people? And, you know, obviously your job right now is to get them to absolutely fucking hate you. So what's it like, man, when the music hits and you walk through, man? It's go time.
To be honest, I mean, all right, so it's a whole feeling up to the moment of getting behind the curtain, ready to go out. You know what I mean? My adrenaline's already pumping. You know what I'm saying? My brain's going crazy, you know? So, like, but that moment when the music hits, it's like everything just shuts off, and I don't even hear the music. I can't explain it. It's like a complete, like, conscious blackout. I don't know how to explain it. And I walk out there, and I get those people to hate me. Thank you. You know, and I get in there and I do work. And whatever the outcome is, you know, by the time when I walk back through, then it all comes back. But it's kind of like a duck in water.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So it's like once you walk out, you're just zoned in. And
yeah.
Like I know you was talking about and thanking the fans for hating you and stuff like that. Obviously, it's very easy for you. I mean, from the moment you first step foot in the ring with Bulletproof Posse and stuff like that, I mean, instantly just booed. You know, granted, you know, it helps being put with a group of guys that's already being booed, but then you kind of went off and did your own thing and got your own, you know, heat from the crowd, and it's like that's just so natural, man, for you. I think that, like, I don't know if I could ever see you go face. You know what I mean? Like, you just being that asshole prick guy that you are, that you play so well. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, man, because kids love you. Animals love you. You're like the sweetest guy in the fucking world. You got the biggest heart in the world. But when you go through that curtain, man, like you said, it's go time, and you're a whole different person. I want to jump just a little bit ahead, and I want to talk about Bulletproof Posse. You want to tell the story before we get into that, because it kind of lines up how you and I actually met?
Oh, bro, it was a good one too. I mean, so actually, we'll go back a little bit. We'll lead up to it. We'll take her nice and slow. So I was actually watching WrestleMania. I think it would. What are we about to have? What number is it?
39.
39. So it would have been 38 when Cody
debuted. Yeah.
Yeah. I was so ecstatic, and I posted all over Facebook about it and how much I love this sport and stuff. And actually, Justin Terrell, hit me up. He was like, "Hey, man, see you love this shit." You know, he was like, "No, we got some mutual friends." He's like, "Why don't you come through and come to the show? Get there a little early and maybe, you know, get in the ring or something." I was like, "Bro, you for real right now?" Because, bro, I'd love that. Like, I wanted to be a wrestler since I was like 8 years old, watching the Monday Night Wars at my Uncle Leon and Aunt Tracy's house, man. And ever since then, it was just like, that's what I wanted. But So I show up. It's real. I get in the ring. They want to see everybody's bumps and stuff.
Now, was this the day? Was
Yeah,
this the day before?
No, this is the day of.
So the day of the show.
The day of the show.
Okay.
I get in there, and I took one of each bump, and that's when Shane came up, and he was like, "Hey, come here." And he was like, "How long you been doing this?" I told him, "No, it's my first time. I watched Tough Enough."
No, that was the training.
Huh?
That was training.
Yeah, that was the day of, though.
No, day before.
Was it?
Yeah, because I actually went there.
Oh, you did.
Yeah,
but
see,
we didn't get our picture till the
until
show.
the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go. Because I normally didn't go to the day
Trainings,
before the
yeah.
trainings and stuff, but I knew a bunch of new people were coming through, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go hang out with Justin and Shane, and I'm gonna go see what's going down or whatever, blah blah blah.
Like we shook
and that's
hands.
and that's when I first met you. Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, so back to the day of the show.
So he stopped the whole like training tryout thing and had me come to the side. He's like, "How long you been doing this?" I was like, "Bro, this is my first time. I watched Tough Enough, you know." And he was like, "Okay," and he's like, "I want you to stick around." So I stuck around, finished the training, stuck around, and he started talking about, you know, if I really wanted this, he could see putting me in and this and that. And he introduced me to some people at the show, you being one of the people. And so I was like, yeah, if I'm here, I'm trying to do this, let's do this. I ended up being in a battle royal at the show. I was actually working security. I was paying dues, you know, setting up, tearing down.
Wearing the bright orange shirts.
The
bright orange shirts, man.
What says intimidating about
the bright orange shirts with the blue letters, man? I'll never forget that. And
we were the least intimidating security guards you've ever seen. But so I guess a couple people didn't show, or they had a couple extra spots open in the battle royal, and I was like, "Ooh, hey, pick me." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Look, I got this. I don't have much with me. I don't have any gear yet." I was like, "But what I got with me, I can make this pretty badass biker look at least, you know."
Yeah, because you actually wore jeans,
black
tank
shirt,
top.
wet hair.
Yeah,
that's before the dreads, bro.
Yeah,
The dreads.
had the wallet chains and everything.
Yeah. And he's like, you know what you're half-ass doing out there? I was like, bro, how hard is it to go out there and just take a few bumps from a couple guys and get thrown over? It turns out I ended up helping eliminate a couple people, and then I had a whole spot with Tyson and Hysterics, and then Hidari helped eliminate me, bro. And no, it wasn't Shane. Who was it? Somebody had said, because like I'd never gone over ropes, I hadn't even ran ropes yet, bro.
Yeah.
Like, but he saw me like first naturally working in the ring. I think it was Justin. But said he saw me naturally work in the ring and take the backflip out of the battle royal and this and that. And he said the character that I played and the heat that I gave with Hysterics while we were exchanging, he was like, "That was really good. That was natural. You need to keep doing this." And so after I took that to heart, and I went and like had my own little like mental celebration in the back afterwards. Like, I did that shit, you know. And then I met you.
Yeah.
Because I was like, hey, I need pictures of this night. You know what I'm saying? So I was taking pictures, and it started with that picture because I took that picture, and like 3 days later, you hit me up for it, and then I was on. I watched sWs that night and got real interactive and won those figures from you.
Yeah, you won the. Yeah. I think you won the first giveaway. I think, or the second. I think it was the first or second giveaway that I'd done on a live.
Yep.
But the funny thing, like, I like how you brought the picture up.
Yep.
Because, you know, true story, funny story, was when I met you that night. See, I like to go to shows and I like to handpick guys that I see, and I'm like, all right, I can see something in this individual or this tag team or whatever. You know, it was the same with Bulletproof Posse when I first saw them. But that night, after we took that photo, I remember getting home and I remember talking to my wife, the beautiful Miss Amy Jane, and I was just like, man, you know, the whole time I was watching, you know, I was there with my oldest son Tanner, but I was watching you too. So the picture, if you remember, when we take the picture, we took a few of them, I think, and then we finally threw up the Too Sweet.
Yeah, because the first one I threw up this.
Yeah, like, then we threw the Too Sweet up.
And I saw you throwing up the Too Sweet, and I was like, bro, that's
let's go. You know what I mean? So we did that.
that.
And then, so, yeah, like you said, it was a few days later, and I remember sitting there the few days because I added you on social media, and I was like, okay, when's he going to post this picture? Because I really want this picture. And
Bro, there's so
a
many.
few
that I
days it
didn't
went,
even- I
and
didn't
like
even
the
post
photo
them
never
all.
got posted, and I was like, well, damn, I'm just gonna ask him for the photo.
Yeah.
So being all like weird about it, I was like, because I mean, how else can you be normal? Hey, can I get that
Yeah.
picture that
Hey,
you
bro.
sent? Like, but so yeah, funny story of it was,
Like two
yes,
girls on Snapchat.
I messaged you. I was like, hey brother, what's up? Hey man, that photo that we took at the show, do you mind sending me that? And you did.
Yep.
And then you posted it, I posted it. And then it just seemed like after that photo was taken, man, that photo was sent back and forth. You know, I was actually going through some stuff around that time, and we won't get into that. But
I ended up going through
you were
almost the
one
same
of the
thing.
few people, man, that FaceTimed me every day.
Yeah.
And you took time out of your day just to be like, hey man, are you okay? Just want to see how you're doing, whatever. And we'd be sitting there taking a shot through the phone together. You remember that? You know, hey,
Yeah,
cheers, brother, shot. You know.
It was this phone, bro. I spilled so much whiskey on this
On that,
phone
yeah.
doing cheers with you over the phone.
But yeah, man, it's just crazy, like how that picture started, and you and I, like to me, man, like we've gotten close really quick, and
Yes, sir.
I feel like I said, man, you're one of the few people that I actually trust and actually would put faith in, you know what I mean, kind of thing. Go to war with me. You went to war with me without even hesitation. You know what I mean?
That's what brothers are for, baby. That's what brothers are for.
And I know we've watched a lot of wrestling. You know, because you actually end up moving in with me too. Like we actually lived together, you know, and stuff like that. We worked together, you know. We traveled together, always talking wrestling, like always talking. Hey, what can we do at this show? How can we do this? Whatever. You became a producer of sWs without hesitation. Obviously, you've been a part of a lot of special segments on sWs. You know, you and I
broke
joke.
into your house.
You broke into my house and ran my show for me. Yeah, just to make sure, man, that the show must go on, right?
And see, like, it is a short time because I believe I got here in July. I got here on my birthday, or the day before my birthday. You threw a hella party for me.
Because I threw you a party, yeah.
Yeah, and so from what, July 13th, and it's February what?
4th?
February 4th.
Yeah.
Like. That is a
And
short
that's a
amount
short
of time
frame, you know what I mean?
But we lived together.
Dude,
We worked together, like you said. You know, we made a 10-year friendship, a brotherhood
within a few months.
within a few
you know
months,
what I mean?
man.
And that's just how well it clicked. You know what I mean?
Look at all the things we did together, good and bad. We went through some spirals together, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Woke up on this same floor,
Broken glass,
broken
and
glass.
everything else. Yeah.
But we went through some hell together, but we also had some great ass.
But we came out clean on the other side.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And I think that was
and
the
look
most
at what we're
important
building
thing,
now.
too.
Now that we're on the other side of that.
Exactly. And speaking of building, I remember messaging you one day, and I was like, "Hey, I have this friend. Let me whisper in his ear, and see if I can help you out a little bit."
Chris Chaos.
And I got a hold of Chris Chaos from Bulletproof Posse,
Bro.
and I said, "Hey, got this kid. I saw him a couple times. You know, blah blah blah. I think he's got something, man. I know you're looking to redo, reform, rebuild the Bulletproof Posse. So maybe talk to this guy." And then I asked you. I said, "Hey, man, he wants to know, or for you to message him." And you messaged him, and then you and Chris started talking,
And 3 weeks later, we made our first appearance together.
yeah. And then now you guys are the current reigning, defending AACW World Tag Team Champions, man.
And what's crazy is because Mr. Scrubs McGee, shout out Scrubs,
Yeah.
you know, was his partner first. You know what I mean? So for me to come in on, like you said, a group of guys who was, I mean, they were big. They were hated. So I had to step up. I had to be everything that everybody was thinking I was gonna be.
Was that hard for you, man, coming in, not taking Scrubby's spot, but filling the shoes in that spot? Was that something for you?
I think it was more than just filling his shoes. I think it was just fitting into the group, making sure that, like I said, you know, what everybody's thinking I can do, that I do. So I felt I had to step up. So I just trained harder. I worked harder. I watched tape, and I learned. You know, I took some great advice from some great guys. You know, Damian DeVille, Brody Bodkins, Jake Elliott. You know, outside of Bulletproof Posse, and you, of course, your knowledge of the wrestling business is, I mean, out of this world.
Thank you.
So I've surrounded myself with the best minds. So it was hard in the sense of you know, having shoes to fill, like you said, or having a spot to earn.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah. Well, and like, you know, I think with, and then like even look at Bulletproof Posse now, adding me in there, adding the SWS brand to BBP.
Yeah.
I think it was something that had always worked because, like I've always said, I love animals. I do. I love kids. I love people, man. I want to be the change in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is so easy for me to flip a switch like that and go through that curtain and be a complete asshole. So when I started doing that stuff, I was like, man, all I want to do is I just want to be a heel. I just want to be the guy like, hey, I've already built this. I want to, and I'm going to name drop. I want to be Hogan now. I want to come out there. I was so loved by the people because I was good guy SWS, good old SWS.
You want to go NWO.
I want to just go out there and tell the fans to stick it, you know what I mean? And I was able to do that with you guys, which was weird because the plan that was set in motion didn't even happen because the wheels had done spun so much on the track. Man, the train had done moved to the next station. Like, do you remember the night I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When it all just kind of clicked?
Yeah.
Like, it was like the Birds thought they won the tag team championships.
Yeah.
I was doing commentary with Gonzo's Sports Room.
All you did was your job.
And I did my job, and that crowd turned on me, and they hated me because I was the guy that said the match restarts. I didn't make that call, though. The referee made that call. The official made that call. I just announced that call. But for whatever reason, that made me the instant heel of the night. And after that, it was like, dude, we're on the train. Let's just go now.
I was going to say,
there's no point in turning back.
And then the celebration with the tag titles didn't help.
No, well, and that was the thing too. It wasn't a shot at nobody or nothing like that. Me doing that, it was just, you guys are my boys. You know what I mean? And I was excited that you guys won the tag team championship. So yeah, at the time I was doing commentary, and I was like, you know what? I put the mic down, man. I gotta go. Like, I'm gonna go join the celebration with these guys because these guys worked their asses off to get there, and I want to be a part of this too.
Really
because,
did too.
Like, those are my boys. I mean, I've done that with other guys too. You know what I mean? Celebrated with them and stuff. But let's go. We'll come back to BPP here in a few because I have a few other questions about you about BPP. But let's go to the first time you ever saw your very first professional wrestling match. On TV or whatever, just the first time you saw it and you're like, damn, because we all have.
We're gonna have to go with first time I can recollect.
Yeah, well, yeah. Because I remember seeing Hogan and Warrior,
job.
Brett and Sean.
Yeah,
Brett and Sean.
I think that was the first, or maybe that wasn't the first match I ever saw, but that match is the first match that I remember.
Yeah.
Like, because I just remember being so invested in it, just from seeing like the recaps and the promos before the match that night. I was like, oh, these two are gonna get it. Because I'd seen most of the show and I knew what to expect from wrestling now, and I was captivated. So then that next Monday I was watching. My uncle had it on his remote, the previous channel, but
yeah, of course.
It was Monday Night Raw
and then WCW
and Nitro.
And that was the thing that you bring that up, man, because I feel like in the 90s we all did that too. We had that. You would go at the time. I think for me, USA was 28, and then Nitro on TNT was 37, and I just remember having that previous button.
USA
as soon as the commercial
was 23 and TBS was 26.
Because I just remember hitting that previous button. A commercial would happen, you'd go back. And nowadays we just record shit. But anyway, so you're watching the match, Montreal Screwjob, and what a hell of a match too to remember.
Yeah.
I mean, with the ending, man. I mean, that was a huge thing years later. We all knew Sean was involved in it. Then we find out later that Sean admitted, and yes, I did know everything about it. Blah 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 blah. Let me ask you this. Let me put you in a situation. Let's say you're facing the world's champion, and that world's champion's leaving. And the owner comes and says, hey, fuck them. They're not taking the title like Flair did. This ain't going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to do business? Or are you going to go out there and just like, fuck it, I'll do it, whatever?
You mean what I do what Sean did?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I think we all would do what Sean did. That's protecting.
Let me rephrase. If it's home show, if it's where my contract is, given that I'd be allowed to travel and do other shows or whatever. If what I'm saying, if it was home, yes, I'd play ball.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was another side promotion or something I was doing in the indies and My job was strictly to make my appearance and do a wrestle. I'm not getting involved in your business drama, bro. Book him with somebody else and do that.
Yeah.
And I'll make my appearance with somebody else.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I got respect for this business, and that's how I knew that this being a professional wrestler thing was what I need to be doing. Because when I started looking at it as the business concept, I want more than me to thrive. That's when I knew I was supposed to be here.
Yeah.
It's not just about me. So I'm going to show respect to the business. I'm going to show respect to my home promotion and the people I hold loyalty to. Like, you're not going to do, like, because Brett was trying to leave with the title.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, you're not going to do that to my
Do you really
home
feel in your
promotion.
heart that, not to interrupt you, but I've asked a lot of people this. I know how I feel about it. Do you feel that Brett, because Brett swore up and down he was not going to take the title. Brett was going to drop the title the next night on Raw to Shawn, and then he was going to leave. Do you think Brett was going to do
Look at the way he
business?
acted towards WWE or F at the time.
Yeah.
When he went to WCW, though. And look at all those interviews he did then. It was clear that he had angst and resentment against WWE.
So do you think Brett was going to take the title?
I think he was. I
Yeah.
mean, no offense. You know, the Hart Dynasty, one of my favorites. You know what I'm saying? But he's like, I'm Brett freaking Hart.
Well, not,
you know
not
what I
to
mean?
mention Eric Bischoff was handing out limitless paychecks.
Yeah.
So who's to say that Bischoff was like, hey, I mean, he was already getting paid
Yeah, 'cause
way
you know
more.
Bischoff would have used that too.
Absolutely.
That title would have been
Absolutely.
all over.
WCW.
And
Brett would have came out with it,
Yeah.
showed it off because he would have been like, hey.
Even if Brett didn't want to take the title with him, well, first of all,
Bischoff would have bought it technically from Brett. Like, if you think about it.
Brett thought that he was going with the title, though. Brett thought he was going over. Why would you think that? No, I need to give this title to home and then go my way.
Mm-hmm.
No. So, all around, there's selfish tactics in Brett's approach anyway.
And I've always thought like that Brett was going to take the title because I mean money talks. You know, you're already Bischoff's already given you limitless. You know, he's basically handing you a blank check saying write what you want on it.
Yep.
So who's to say that Bischoff wouldn't have paid
Kevin Nash.
a few other thousands of dollars to have Brett just keep the belt with him in his bag and just go, man? Because I mean, what are you really gonna do? Flair did it. You know what I mean? What do you like? Really, what are you gonna do? Like, I'm gonna name a few wrestlers off the top of my head. I'm just going to give you some scenario matches. Just get your opinion on them. So I'm going to start with this very first one. We were just talking about
like
it.
my opinion is just short and sweet. Like who would go over?
Just give me a name of who would win the match.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just going to top of the head. I already got the first one planned because he popped in my head just now. But we were just talking about an individual. So I'm going to say the Heartbreak Kid, Mr. WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels versus Eddie Guerrero.
The Heartbreak Kid.
The Heartbreak Kid. Okay.
Rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero.
But Shawn Michaels. All right. So we'll go ahead and we'll go The Undertaker. And we'll go Ric Flair.
Undertaker.
Undertaker? All right.
I wanted to go Ric Flair for a second, but that was going off his name. Not
Because diamonds are forever, and so is Ric Flair. All right, we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw you a curveball. Let's say the Blue Meanie, Stevie Richards.
Oh, Blue Meanie.
Blue Meanie. Okay.
Steven Richards is cool, but Blue Meanie.
Yeah, Blue Meanie. Okay. I'll give you two more. Let's do.
I'm waiting for one.
Let's do Jeff Hardy.
I knew it.
Jeff Hardy versus Hollywood NWO Hulk Hogan.
Oh. Are we going off of, like, my opinion, or my wants, like, me inside? Like,
whoever you think would win it.
Hogan would win it, but I want Jeff.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked. I really thought, and the smile on your face tells me the truth.
It's because
I really thought you were going to be like, well, Jeff.
This is the SWS mothership show, you know what I'm saying? You got to be honest.
Okay.
Like, there's not many names that are going to ever be bigger than Hulk Hogan.
True.
So,
True.
do you think that Vince, or even Bischoff at the time, if he would have had Hardy, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you think Jeff Hardy would ever go? I don't know. Wait a minute. Because they put Hardy over every great there is.
Well, look at TNA, too. When they did Immortal, I mean, Hardy was their guy over Hogan.
And he went over Shawn. He went over The Rock. He went over
Orton.
H. He went over Orton. He went over Punk.
Almost went over Taker.
He went over Cena.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still gotta go with Hogan.
Gotta go Hogan. All right.
Of who Hogan is, but.
All right.
But could I see Jeff going over on Hogan one day because? Yeah.
All right. Then we'll say let's do a triple threat match. Let's do Kane, Edge, Hunter.
That third one messed me up. I thought I already had my answer. Triple threat. That means no DQ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Edge.
Gonna go Edge?
Yeah.
Rated R Superstar. Yeah.
Yep.
You kind of have to, man.
Yep.
I do want to talk about.
I mean,
Edge.
unless it was like 2004 or 2009 Triple H, because those versions of Triple H were just absolutely ruthless, and Edge's mind games wouldn't have held any factor anyway.
I want to ask this: NWO or DX? I mean, I know two completely different factions, but you had a couple clique members in each group.
I was going to say, do I prefer or is better?
Better. Well, we'll do both. Who do you prefer?
I prefer DX.
Okay. Who is better out of the two?
NWO.
NWO. Now, were you a fan of them constantly adding members every fucking week? Or was it
NWO?
more,
No,
yeah, was it more just like you had your picks and it was,
I liked the original the best.
yeah.
But it was okay there for a while until they just started adding every WWF guy that came through. And it was like,
Yeah.
I get what you're doing. Like, it's cool. You know, it's kind of like an outlaw type thing.
Yeah.
That was cool. That's why I like it.
But I mean, hell, you had guys like Big Boss Man, who was Big Bubba Rogers at the time,
Yes.
joining IRS, was a member, who was Wall Street at the time.
I
Like, it
liked
was just,
Stevie
it was a
Ray.
lot.
Stevie Ray.
Stevie
The
Ray was
NWO
badass
was cool.
NWO. Mhm.
But always the NWO to me will be Hogan, Nash, and Hall.
Okay, so let me ask you this then. A group that's been referred to as a new version of NWO, Bullet Club or NWO? Because you had the star power in both groups, if you think about it. Just when you thought the NWO was done, they added star power. Bullet Club was the same way.
Being my age and being a fan of the era of wrestling that I am, you know, I'm always going to prefer the NWO.
The NWO.
But I love the Bullet Club because NWO was WCW. Yeah, it came to WWE for a little while.
Yeah,
That
and
was shit.
it was a watered
That
down
was
version
shit.
of it.
But the Bullet Club is international.
Yeah, it's everywhere, man.
You got Bullet
it's a
Club
household
members
name.
working Impact, WWE,
They're in every company.
AEW, New Japan. Don't matter.
Yeah,
You know
they're
what I mean?
they're
Like,
in every company.
Every company. So
And they always acknowledge themselves. I mean, Cody Rhodes just acknowledged he threw up the too sweet, did the gun with the kiss.
And that's cool. Is they
That
don't
was
even
a
have
shot
to
to
carry
Kenny
the
and
bullet.
Buzz.
They don't even carry the Bullet Club gimmicks. Some of these guys and still pay the homage and show
Yeah,
they
to
Bullet
where
Club.
they came from, and yeah, it's
That's
like
what I
it's-
want. That's what I want for Bulletproof Posse.
Well, see, and that's cool. Like, and that's cool that you said it too, because that's kind of how I see like Bulletproof too. Is like I'm not comparing ourselves to Bullet Club itself as like that
Yeah, 'cause we get that
image or
enough.
whatever. But yeah,
Bullet,
but I'm
Bullet Club
comparing
and
it
Insane
to.
Clown Posse.
I'm just comparing it to the fact of like we can go work promotions and have members in other promotions, but still be Bulletproof Posse. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
let me ask you really quick too, man.
I just worked with Jonathan Holiday, Jake Elliott.
Yeah.
I just worked with him at ACW as a complete different tag team.
Mhm.
I'm still Bulletproof Posse, baby.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. Now I'm gonna.
Bulletproof Posse ain't a faction. It's a family. It's blood. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? You don't-
exactly.
You can't change your DNA.
As you know, you know how the show goes. I gotta take a restroom break, so feel
Okay.
free to entertain the crowd or.
For just 99 cents a day, you can help a starving dog somewhere in Africa. I don't know what number to call. All I know is from what I've seen on TV, you can do that. So this would be the time for you to be doing that because SWS is not only taking a break, he's taking a restroom break. But this is Quiet Time with Ricky Gunnz, and I hope you're enjoying it. Now, if you could please just enjoy the sooth sounds of Barry White. Barry? What? Barry didn't show? Enjoy the sooth sounds of just chilling on the set. You're with Ricky Gunnz.
And that is just too sweet.
Did you like that infomercial?
I did like that. Until Barry White hits me up
Oh man, we're about to get sued.
wanting to check. But
Hey, no, I knew Barry White in elementary school. Completely different guy. It's W-I-T-E.
I want to talk to you, man, a little bit about family. What was it like, man? Growing up in like a family, like was your family about wrestling?
What do you mean about wrestling?
Like what was it like? Okay, so like when I was growing up as a kid, you know, my dad, he loved WWF because of Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
But then when Hogan went to WCW, even in the red and yellow, we went WCW family. I remember sitting down every Saturday night. My dad would play poker and drink beer and whiskey with his friends, but we
Nitro
would
on
always
TV.
have, you know, WCW Saturday night. Nitro was always on, and we, you know, I had to watch it room because I had to run in there and do the previous channel button like we were talking about.
Yeah.
So was that something like that was growing up in your guys' household? Was it
Because of me.
Monday nights or Saturdays or
Well,
anything? Were you guys sitting around watching wrestling, or
For the longest time, so I
was it just you and your brother in there doing it?
My parents went through a divorce when I was real young. I think I was like 8 or something, or maybe 6. It is an even number. But so we ended up moving into my aunt and uncle's house. They lived in an old school building, big ass house. I
Okay.
mean, shit. And so we lived in the bottom half of it. And I remember my dad was at work or on a date or something, and my uncle came and got us, and that's when I watched wrestling for the first time. Was that Monday night with him, and don't really remember who was on or anything. I was probably just playing with some toys or being a kid or whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember it started becoming a routine because my dad was working nights, and we lived there so long, so it started becoming a thing that I started paying attention to. And then from there, it was like, even when I finally started spending time with my mom, you know, it'd be me and my brother, like you said, and I'd put it on.
Yeah.
And then at home with Dad, when, you know, he got married to my stepmom, Brandy, love you, you know, I'd still put it on, or still make sure if dinner time came anywhere near my wrestling, I'll be down on commercial, I'll get
Or
my
whatever,
stuff and
yeah,
go upstairs. But yeah, I watched it religiously. I remember my dad worked with these guys, and it was the promoter and a wrestler from RCCW. It's Rose County Championship Wrestling in Richmond.
Okay.
And he threw me a birthday, because me and all my friends were into it. We did the backyard wrestling shit. And he got him to throw me a private show for me and all my friends on one of my birthdays, man. And they finally got me in the ring, started teaching me how to take bumps and stuff like that, like showing me this and that. And my dad slid in like a fucking heel and started whooping my ass in front of all my friends.
I remember you telling me
You know
about
what
this
I mean?
too. Yeah, yeah.
But I remember just being in that ring and rolling around with my dad and learning this stuff. I was like, this is great. This is what I want to do.
And I know you and your dad are super close too. Your dad's really cool too. I've talked to your dad.
That's my
and
best
everything.
friend.
Yeah, he's
my
super
biggest
cool,
supporter.
man. Like, and that's the thing too. Like, you gotta appreciate the love of you going out there and doing this sport, and then having the love from like you said, man, from family members.
Well, ever since I got, because you know I had my problems. Ever since I got sober, this is. I got back to my roots, and I saw that kid in me who wanted this again, and I got the opportunity, and now, like, even people who I wasn't close with in my addiction and stuff, man, people who had to distance themselves, man, now everybody supports this. And that's what's great about it, is I've not only found my niche, I've not only found my childhood dream, but now everybody I know and love, you know, is supporting me in this.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, I know we've talked a lot, because like I said, you know, we live together, whatever, work together, all that. We've traveled a lot of highways and byways together. You know, you and I, we've gotten real personal with each other over time, and we've learned each other inside and out pretty much.
Yeah.
I know where the story of Ricky Gunnz came from.
Oh yeah.
But does everybody else know? So do you wanna take a moment and tell the story of how Ricky Gunnz came about?
Why don't you remind me real quick?
Well,
I'll take over, but I'll
we were riding to work one day, and then we were talking, and you were talking about how you dabbled in music, because I dabbled in music too.
Okay.
And then the Most Wanted, Ricky Gunnz, but you got your name from a video game.
Okay, there we go.
All right.
You're right. I was making sure. I was gonna see if you brought that up.
Okay, yeah.
That up. Yes. So I dabbled in music, man. I guess you could say I was like doing the gangster life, you know what I mean? And thought I could dabble in music, started trying to be a rapper and this and that, and it came time for me to pick a name. Every rapper got to have a name, right? So I picked the name that I had originally created from NBA Street, Volume 1, the very first one, because they don't have Rob. Because you could pick your name from an auto list, and it would pronounce your name instead of player, you know,
or whatever.
I mean?
Yeah.
So like, they didn't have Rob Glover, so it's like, all right, well, let's just pick a name with my initials. You know what I'm saying? I picked Ricky, and then I started going through G's, and I saw Gunnz, and I was like, Ricky Gunnz. I was like, that sounds kind of cool. So I picked that, and that was my NBA Street volume character, and I played that game forever, and so I was like, fuck it, Ricky Gunnz.
Ricky Gunnz. Now, where'd the most wanted come from? Because I know originally we were.
Why? Why did you need to ask the question?
Because I know originally we were talking about bulletproof.
Yeah,
Ricky Gunnz.
and isn't that weird? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I remember, and that was before
Ricky Gunnz,
before Bulletproof Posse,
Yeah.
before I whispered in Chris Chaos's ear or anything. Yeah, you and I were talking one night, and you were like, "Man, I got this wrestling name. I want to use this name that I use on this video game, Ricky Gunnz. That was also my rapper name, but I also want to do a side piece name. I'm thinking Bulletproof Ricky Gunnz." And then Most Wanted.
Yeah,
came
we
up,
spent a
and-
few.
Yeah, and then it was like Most Wanted came up, and man, it's
And it
crazy
was like,
because
boom.
like, yeah, it was like Most Wanted Ricky Gunnz. Like, yeah, I kind of like that too. Yeah. So Most Wanted came from there.
Yep.
Ricky Gunnz came from there. I want to jump back to BPP since we were talking about it.
Okay.
You've came in, man, as like a top guy with Chaos. No disrespect to Scrubby or anything like that. But the heights that I feel like BPP has been taken to as of late, you've kind of got to put that on your shoulders a little bit too and carry that around with pride because, you came into a group that was already established.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I'm a greenhorn, I'm a new guy. But you went out there, you paid your dues, you busted your ass, and now you're a World Tag Team Champion. And now you're traveling to other promotions.
Yep.
Solo sometimes,
Yep.
or tag team wise,
Yep.
So going back to the question I asked earlier, man, is that a lot of pressure on you, knowing that kettle was so hot at one point? It was just like that thing was going, man. Like,
Not only yes, that's a lot of pressure, and not only is that, but like I mentioned, everybody's support that I have right now, to let them down or to be a dud. You know what I mean? That it is a lot of pressure, but on the other side of that, the support from everybody and then the status of what I had to be immediately out the gate, I felt like that was good for me, and now makes it to not be a lot of pressure. Because, it was a lot of pressure in the beginning. You know what I mean?
and that was a thing too, man. Like you said, you used the term right out of the gate. It was right out of the gate. It was go time.
Like, I went from
You
a
did your battle
2-minute
royal
spot.
looking this way, and then you came in exactly. You know what I mean? You came right in, and then now you're carrying World Tag Team Championship gold. Like right out the gate, it was like, I've got to do this. There is no and if buts. There is no tomorrow. I have to do this tonight to have a tomorrow. Like
I said, it's a lot of pressure, but it had a lot of payoff because it worked. Because like that, you know what they say, you gotta put pressure on grapes to make wine. You gotta put what is it, oysters that make pearls? You gotta make pressure the sand to make a pearl. You know what I'm saying? So all that pressure built me to be what I guess Bulletproof needed. You know what I'm saying? We are making accolades now, and it's no disrespect to Scrubs or anybody BPP, because they could do it without me. They could do it without me. I think I was.
And I like that you have that mentality too. That you're like, hey.
I just was a good piece. You know what I mean?
I agree, man. I think it was a piece that needed to be there. I think it was a piece that,
Now-
and again, that's just my opinion. I think it was just a piece that needed to be there. I think everything happens for a reason. I know, obviously you and I are really close. We talk all the time. I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. I've always said that. Hey, this bad thing happened for a reason because it needs to teach me something, but I'm going to get 2 good things out of this or whatever, you know what I mean? Everything happens for a reason. I feel like right place, right time. The momentum was definitely there.
Oh, especially when me and BPP started messing with you, because like you said, you already had this established. People already thought of you this way.
Yeah.
You wanted to be like Hogan. I came in, and it was.
Well, and like you guys were just that
Poetry
perfect
in
fit.
motion, you know what I mean?
You guys just had that look. You guys had this attitude that I have myself, where I'm just like, I just want to be able to say what I want, do what I want, kind of thing. You know what I mean? And and I've always said I have the greatest fans in the world, because I do, and I appreciate everybody that wears these and supports that colors and stuff like that. I really do. I went out of my way, to do. I'll do anything for a fan. I have no problem doing that. But my thing is, it's like you guys just had this attitude, and then it was almost like, and I'm gonna throw a couple names out there, man. It was almost like an NWO and a DX. It was just like I felt like frustrations were building, and I felt like we all three were just like, man, this could kind of work. And I really don't even know, other than that night, how that worked. You know what I mean? It was literally just you guys came over, you handed me the tag titles, you put your vest on me. The crowd didn't like me when I came out that night. It was weird because
all it was supposed to be showing love.
Yeah,
showing love to sWs.
But I walked out that night. You know, you go back to the previous event from that night, and they loved me up and down.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, I came out the following show, and they were just like, "We just don't like him now." And I was like, this is what I was looking for. Okay, you don't like me, I don't like you either. And then you guys come over and just kind of signify, like, hey, that's our dude. Hey, he's with us, we're with him, like it or don't. And after that night, we just kind of
dove in. And
we were like, dude, we're just going to take the ball and not go home.
Yeah,
we're just going to start hitting threes, man. We're just going to go with it. Like, and I've loved it ever since. I think it's been a blast. Like,
man, it really was poetry in motion, too, because I mean, like I said, you've been rocking with BBP, both me and Chris Chaos, but you know, we live together, we work together every day. So like, all this is off script right now. Everybody watching, this is all off script since the beginning.
And it's weird because I have my notepad here, but these are notes from a previous show because I don't need notes, and that's what I even told you. Funny story, I even told you. I said I didn't do notes because I don't need them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not that I need notes. I just like to have dates and stuff. But you and me, we already know the dates, man.
And
like,
that shows that there's chemistry there. And then there's chemistry between me and Chris Chaos. So it's like a trifecta of chemistry. It's like our ideas and what we do and how we are out there, bro.
And we all talk every day.
Every day.
You know what I mean? Like we're in a group chat. You know, the three of us. We always shoot ideas, and
we
always
both
talking.
got the message that Chaos is on his way to get his John Moxley haircut.
This is true. He's getting his John Moxley haircut.
We talk every day.
I do want to ask, man, really quick. I've noticed here lately you've been doing a little bit of face paint.
Yeah.
And it's usually just real messy. It's just however you want to do it. A little bit of Jeff Hardy in there.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Jeff Hardy, being the Jeff Hardy fan that I am, that's what made it okay for me to try it. Like, fucking try it. But it's actually a homage to my Viking roots. It's also kind of a little homage to my punk rock roots. You know what I mean? So I was just thinking because, you know, I got the dreads. I wear them back in the ponytail. I'm keeping the beard, the face tattoos, covered in tattoos. Vikings, you know, that's my heritage, you know what I'm saying? So like, I was like, why not? Jeff did it, so I tried it, and I think it looks good.
Yeah.
It adds. I might try something a little different tonight.
Yeah. You gonna try something different?
Yeah.
Okay. Going back to Jeff Hardy, as we start winding this down a little bit, Jeff Hardy, your all-time favorite Jeff Hardy match? Out of all the ones he's had, if you could only watch one tape of Jeff Hardy, and we're going to talk about tape here in a second.
All right. Can I have a two-part answer because
it's your show, man. It's your episode.
Cool.
You do what you want.
So on the side of being a believer, a lover of Jeff Hardy, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would have to, on that side of it, it'd have to be the triple threat at Armageddon where he won the title because he deserved it.
Stood on top of Armageddon stage,
you know what I'm
badass
saying?
scene for Jeff.
He deserved that title run. He used to hold doors for King of the Ring, man.
Yeah.
You talk about paying dues. That's Jeff Hardy. He's put his body on the line. He sacrificed so much. I mean, yeah, he's had his issues, but this man has stayed loyal to our business. You know what I mean? So that would be like the joy part of what I would watch would be that. If I wanted to see prime Jeff Hardy in a prime Jeff Hardy performance and a fight underdog type match, it's going to be Monday Night Raw, undisputed title versus The Undertaker in a ladder match.
Ladder match, yep. That was the night where Taker's respect.
Yeah, and Taker don't do that often.
He don't do that. Yeah,
don't do that
I mean, we've heard stories. We've read, the dirt sheets, if you want to call them that. Yeah, Taker doesn't do that stuff very
Yeah.
often. You know what I mean? So for Jeff to go out there and be a young cat that he was at that time, undisputed championship, a ladder match, something that Jeff
Even though
helped
he
make
lost.
famous. Taker picked him up. They hugged, they embraced, shook hands. You know what I mean? That was a big deal. Like, and I know Jeff has went on and said that was one of the coolest things. I do want to ask, because I know you're talking tape. You're one of the guys that you go back. You're like me when I was playing music. You always want to go back and you want to watch tape. You want to know, did I move the right way? Should I have done it this way? Should I have done this different? You and me, we have went back and we have watched countless hours of tape of your guys' matches, your solo matches, whatever, and we're always dissecting it. You know what I mean? Like, you're always like, oh man,
I'm my
I
biggest
think I'm gonna
critic.
do this. I think I'm gonna try this time. What's it like, man, sitting back and being one of those guys that, because you do put the time in. That's the thing. That's what makes you great. That's what makes you good, because you sit back. You know, you've already experienced that match a few hours before, but you're like, well, I'm home now. I'm gonna sit down with a cold beer and a cigarette, and I'm gonna run this back, and I'm gonna watch this and learn from my mistakes or learn from that. What's it like, man, running through your head, watching yourself on there, and then seeing, you know, having those thoughts like, damn, I should have done that, or well, next time I'll do it like this.
Well, I'll take you through the process first. First, I always send a match to those names that, you know, that help keep me in check and help humble me, you know, show me the ways of this business. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn a lot quick. I had to do a lot quick. So I think because of the names that I have, and you know what, fuck it. You name dropped, I'll name drop. Ryan, Damien DeVille, who introduced me to Congo Kong.
Yeah.
Who
Great day, too.
Yes,
Great day.
awesome.
Great day.
I feel like that scoop slam was still a little bit out of spite. I feel like it was. But I send my matches to him. Brody Bodkins.
Just in danger.
Justin Danger. You as well, but I mean, you're normally there. So,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Started sending them to JK up, you know, and I get this constructive criticism back. Hey, man, this was cool. This looked bad. This is bad. You should probably fix this. So I take all that into consideration, and then I'll go watch it back, try to see what they're talking about. And normally with you and a nice cold beer, you know, I'll watch over it. I'll be like, how can I do it better? What move could I add here to make it not look so stale? How can I, you know, just whatever. So I guess I watch them with a lot of humility and open-mindedness.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, even my worst match, I'm still watching myself
Of course.
be
Of
a
course.
professional wrestler. You know what I'm
course.
saying? I'm not perfect every night.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I've had a lot of bad, bad spots.
Well, I'm like, nobody can be perfect no matter what they're doing. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I keep that championship mindset, man.
Yeah.
You know, I may be good, or I may be good for the amount of time I've put in, but I can always be better.
Absolutely.
I can always learn more. I can always
Absolutely.
grow more, develop more. You know what I'm saying? So
Let me-
we just got to see what's in store for
Let me
us.
ask you one more question, then I'm gonna let you do a couple shout outs and stuff. Then we'll wind this down, because obviously we have a busy day. We have a long road ahead of us tonight.
Yeah, we do.
It's gonna be fun though. That's the thing. I love waking up and having these
It's
days.
fight
man.
day.
It's time to go. Let me ask you this, and then again we'll get into some shout outs and stuff. If you could win one world's championship in independent professional wrestling, what company would you win that title for? Because you've worked a handful of companies now.
Does it have to be one I've worked for?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna say Emerge.
Emerge Wrestling? Okay.
I feel like that's probably the biggest, at least that I know of in Indiana.
Okay.
Or maybe Heroes and Legends.
Heroes and Legends would be cool. Yeah.
Just because that's
Shout
where
out
all,
to Jason Maples.
yeah, Jason. That's where all the OGs go and work now too.
Yeah.
I met and did some of the
A lot of Hall of
coolest
Famers there
bro,
too, man.
I went this year in Fort Wayne.
You've actually done security.
Yeah. And bro, the legends that I met there and the shit that I did with these legends, bro, like little old
You
me.
have the Godfather's tattoo.
Yeah, right there,
Right
man.
there.
You know what I'm saying? Like that night.
And
was-
you know, funny story about that. when you messaged me and you said, "Hey man, I got the Godfather's signature. Can you tattoo it on me?" And
Yep.
I was like, "Yeah, I can do that." But then I didn't see you for like
2 days,
3 days, something like that.
Yep, 2 days.
And when you came in, it was still there.
Bro,
I don't know how you kept that on there.
I
As long
put a
as
Band-Aid
you did.
on it. I
But
put 2 Band-Aids on it.
That damn thing was there, and I was like, okay, because I was worried that I was like, man, if he's showered, it's a Sharpie, it's gonna start dwindling down.
It may
blah.
make my hygiene questionable, but I did not shower.
You're like, no, I'm not washing
It was
this.
like,
I'm not doing it.
32 hours until I was back here,
Mhm.
bro. I did not shower. I waited till the tattoo was done and I showered.
And then I remember getting it on you, and I was just like, well, there you go, because I didn't know. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to go look up like a Godfather tattoo to like compare this dwindled down imaging of or something, But yeah, man.
And bro, I hung out with Scotty Too Hottie,
Godwins.
the Godwins,
Yeah.
Johnny Wang Chang, and Eric Redbeard, Eric
Yeah,
Rowan.
yeah, Eric
You know what
Rowan,
I mean?
man.
That dude is a whole soft dude, bro. Like you would think he's big and intimidating because he's big and
Yeah.
intimidating, right? No, cool
Big
as
ass
hell,
sweetheart.
bro. Cool ass dude.
Yeah.
So is the Godfather, man.
But see, I mean, and that's the thing too, because like I was saying earlier, man, like animals love you. Like my dog loves you to death. You know what I mean? You pulled up earlier, my dog was going like ape shit over you. He was like, oh my God, Uncle Gunnz is here. You know what I mean? All right, but it's been a blast. Let's wind this down because again, I know we got a busy ass day.
Yeah.
I want you to open up to the people. I'll step off camera. I always do this. I'll step off camera. It's your moments. Talk to the people, man. Any kid who's maybe been in your situation. I know you and I've shared certain similar paths in life. We always came out clean on the other side. But just talk to the crowd, man. Tell them, if there's a kid out there that maybe been where you were and where you are now that wants to be a pro wrestler or do something great, man. Brother, it's your episode. I'll
One
step
thing
up.
though, I gotta say this, and this is because this weekend is big for our brotherhood because, like we've mentioned plenty of times, we live together, we've worked together. This weekend is the end of an era.
It is.
This is
I know.
my last weekend in the sWs house.
I know.
I'm moving out. I'm starting my own journey.
Exactly.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? With my beautiful lady.
Mhm.
Like
And honestly, man, I couldn't be more happy for you.
I appreciate it, brother, but it's the end of an era, my brother.
Dude,
like,
absolutely.
We had a time, and it's not like we ain't gonna be. I'll still be
Is
here.
it really end of an era, or
It's
is
a new chapter in a book.
It's a new chapter in a new book.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That book we've done. This is the final. Tonight will be the final chapter that we write in this book.
Yes.
And then Sunday we're gonna create a new chapter of a new book, and
Yes.
man, we're gonna write it out, brother.
Right.
But yeah, man. So
And Sunday we find out the gender of your baby.
we do find out the gender.
You know what I'm saying? So we leave on
what
a
I'm gonna
very
have.
high note.
Well, and I figured like if we're gonna write a new book, might as well start with that chapter. And
That's
having
a great chapter.
and having you there, man, means a lot. You know what I mean? You're my brother. I love you to death.
I'm one of 2 people who knows the gender already.
This is true. See, this is true.
I love holding that above your
I
head.
know.
I
know,
love
right?
it.
I
love
figured
it.
you'd give me shit, and I love how you didn't give me shit until right now while we're on the show. It's like you waited for this. You're like,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna do it then. But all right, brother.
Brothers. All right, so
I love you.
new chapter, new book.
Yes, sir. All right, I'm gonna step off for
I gotta speak to the kid.
just any kids, man, that's been where you've been, man.
Oh, man.
Just get
All right.
where you need to get. Like,
Can I do it all official like this?
if you want to.
All right. Cool.
SWS gets crazy.
Oh, this is a real world confessional. No. Look, if you're a kid and you're watching this, or if you know a kid who's struggling with addiction, all I can say is this. It is not as good as it seems, man. You are not having fun. You are not making memories. You're destroying yourself. You're destroying your family. Even as a black sheep, somebody who felt like they never belonged, addiction did not help me none. Seek help. Let your family help you. Find something to fulfill your time. Find something you want. Keep that inner child alive. Reach out. Reach out. It don't even have to be wrestling. It can be whatever you want it to be. Gaming, dancing, acting, whatever you want. Find something to put time into. You can be great. Ricky Gunnz got your back. On behalf of sWs, my brother, that is just too sweet.